It's the HipHopGamer Show. What it is, HipHopGamer Show.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's the one and only Hip Hop Gamer, Hot 97, BET, GameStop, Gangster. Now listen, One Piece. It's all it's gonna take to make you go crazy. First off, like, how the hell did y'all make this game, One Piece? Like, the way it looked, in terms of just the art style, it looks in some ways better than a TV show. Like, it's crazy. Can you walk us through the tech and how you guys was able to pull this off from a graphical standpoint? Like, oh my God. Like,
so one of the main things that the team really wanted to do, because like there's a lot of fans for the manga series and for the anime, and as you're playing the game, you can look at it, and I mean, it really feels like you're almost controlling the characters in the anime itself. It's really vivid, really great detail. Even the interactions of the characters, when you put the party together and then you end up having like your meetup, like where they're like, you know, they're basically talking mess to other people, saying like, you know, they're going to be challenging them. It's dynamic text, so it's like, you know, they're dynamically saying like, oh, you know, Nami might say something to Sanji on the other side, be like, you know, oh, you're being a pervert, or, you know, like Luffy might be partnered up with Bartolomeo, and he's like, you know, laying on the ground, and he's just like cooing over Luffy, and then someone else will be like, yeah, you're a Luffy fanboy, like, you know. So there's a lot of things that make you feel like you're a part of that anime.
yes.
But then even when you get into like the super moves, where it's like, you know, you have your ultimate attacks, where it shows all those beautiful lines of everything coming around, where it's like, it feels like it's really been like sketched inside of a manga. So it's kind of like that balance between the two, and the dev team, they really wanted to make sure that they were kind of honoring what fans on both sides were really liking.
Now, one of the things that I love so much about the combat is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like this assist thing where it's like I was getting attacked and I hit the assist button, and instead of it being like a block, it was like a counter with the assist, and then I was able to double team the guy. Yo, it was phenomenal. So when it comes down to breaking down combat and how it works, and also how it works with your partners and stuff like that, can you talk a bit more in depth on how the combat becomes so fluid, and also talk about like the different type of moves or some of your favorite moves that you actually experience in a game that fans will enjoy?
So one of the really cool things about One Piece Burning Blood, and this is something that hasn't been done in any other type of One Piece game before, is actualizing some of the devil fruit abilities that people have. So one of the types of devil fruit, it's called Logia fruit, and that's where people like take on an element like Crocodile. He is a sand fruit Logia user. So let's say I'm like a regular person, you're Crocodile, and I come up to you and I want to like punch you in the stomach. You just stand there like nothing, because his hand's going to pass through him and it's going to turn to sand. So he's just like,
oh, that's correct. Hold on, you gotta get the belt. Y'all hold the belt on that one. Yo, that is sick. It's like just the way they're designed plays a part in gameplay.
Yeah, you have to really think about, like, you know, if you're a One Piece fan, you're gonna have a leg up on knowing, how do I build out a balanced team? How do I make sure I got, you know, I want someone with Logia just in case, like, you know, there's natural characters that don't have any powers, so I can like jump in there and then they're not necessarily going to be able to hit me. Or I need to have someone with Haki. Like, Haki is like a way of like powering up your attacks, and that's the only way that you can actually connect with someone who's using Logia. So it's we call it, it's kind of like a rock paper scissor, but if you added like 2 more elements, so it's like, you know, rock paper scissor, blade, and I don't know, fist, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like you really, in One Piece, like, you know, they're pirate crews. You know, you think about a crew like, you know, the Straw Hat crew, you know, Luffy's the captain, and Usopp's the sniper, and Nami's the navigator. You need a balanced pirate crew to be able to sail the seas. For the fighting game, you need a balanced crew to be able to fight against any other crew that you're coming up upon. So you need to think about like who you're putting together, and aside from just the 3 playable characters that you build, there's 3 support characters as well. So there's over 40 playable characters and over 60 support characters.
Hold up, I quit. That's it. I'm walking off the interview. I don't even know. So are you really serious? So there's 40 playable characters, 60 support characters. This is insane. So I mean, that combination alone just brings more in-depth gameplay and more decisions making with the gameplay. Oh my God, this is amazing. So I have another. This is a powerful question though. I'm a big fan of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, right? Do you guys ever feel conflicted, like, cause y'all on the same team, like, you know, Namco and stuff like that, but how, like, do y'all ever battle one another, like One Piece versus Naruto? Like, do y'all ever battle like behind the scenes, and, you know, do y'all ever play against each other, or be like, nah, I'm gonna make a better game than you? Because this game right here, and as much as I love Naruto, I think this game takes it another notch further.
It's like, it's a different developer. It definitely takes like, I think there's things that all the games that we work on together, we can look to see what other people have done. How would you do that better? I mean, like, as a video game developer, you always want to see what is your competitor doing. Like you always want to do that type of research and be like, hey, what did they do that really worked? What did they do that was boo-boo that we just don't need to be doing in any of our games? So I think that's one thing that the developers for Spike Chunsoft, the ones that made One Piece Burning Blood, they've done J-Star's Victory vs. Plus. They did Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. So they've been able to work on some really, really good fighting games and look and see like, what were the things that we did really well? What were the things that our fans were like, I didn't really like that so much, or I wanted this to be a little bit different. Like a good example was for J-Star's Victory vs. Plus. A lot of people, they liked playing versus, but they didn't want to play split screen. And they
Interesting. You got a point. I remember that.
But then for us, and like, when you look at the game, since it has such large environments, split screen's actually kind of necessary sometimes because someone could run really far away. So for One Piece Burning Blood, we were looking at it, and that one was starting out as just split screen, and we were like, wait, let's make sure that we have both. We want to have it so that people can, when they go into versus mode, you can choose, do I want to play split screen or do I want to play with full screen? And so it gives people that option. Like, this whole game is about play how you want to play it, build your team how you want to play it. Are you going to be going like, full bore with just like, just basic fighting attacks, or are you going to be someone who's more tactical, like Nami, where you want to set a bunch of bombs, like, your elemental bombs and things like that inside of the environment. Like, it really caters to how someone wants to play.
Absolutely. I got a couple more questions. We're going to wrap it up. Story mode. Does this game have a story mode? If so, the reason why I say that is because, like, a lot of times, like, for a lot of people, this may be their first One Piece game. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times when people see these great characters, they want to know where they come from. What's their backstory? Like, what makes this make sense? Do you have a story mode in this game? If so, how in depth does a story mode goes to teach people about the characters so they could develop that love for them as well?
That's actually probably one of my favorite things about this game, is that most games that have a story mode, it's pretty linear. You might have like one story path, and then you get the story, and then you're done. With One Piece Burning Blood, there's actually 4 main paths. So you have the story mode. It all takes place in the Paramount War, or the Marineford arc. And you have the story perspective from Luffy, from Ace, from Whitebeard, and from Akainu. So from...
I just had to do that. That's crazy and that's genius, dude.
It's great because it's not diverting from canon at all. It's giving fans who are already familiar with the story that little bit more, where it's just like, we're going back to like this tentpole pinnacle portion of the One Piece story, like where this is when everything turned on its head. Like the Battle of Marineford is just so epic. There's just battles all over the place. They really wanted to take that portion and be like, let's give them the story, but let's give them a little bit more. Let's make sure that there's something for new fans where it's like you can watch it and you'd be like, oh, I really understand this series. Like, I get, like, why these characters are the way that they are. Like, I understand the tension of it and like the fancy, like, kind of over the topness that is One Piece. But it also gives a lot to old school fans who are just like, oh, I remember when this story was going on. I remember crying when this happened. I remember laughing when this happened. And being able to recreate that stuff. I mean, the dev team, they're super One Piece fans. Like One Piece is like a national treasure over in Japan, and I can't wait for that to happen in the States too, where people are able to experience more of the manga, more of the anime, more of the video games, more of everything that One Piece has to offer, because it's so dynamic and it's so amazing.
Now, I got 2 more questions, very powerful questions. We're going to wrap it up. One of my favorite games that just came out was Quantum Break on Microsoft, and I love the way they took the TV show, like they took the gameplay and the TV show and put it all in one thing. Yeah, Quantum Break, it's a TV show, but it's not separated from the game. So when you're playing the game, the moment you end like a certain act in the game, it goes right into the TV show. Oh. So it's not like you gotta play the game and then go watch the TV show. It's all a part of the same game.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's incredible. So because anime is so incredible, there's a lot of people that watch anime, but they may not be gamers.
Yep.
So what I wanted to ask you, or there's a lot of people that's gamers, but don't got time to watch the anime, but they just love the game and the way it looks.
Anime games that don't really watch anime.
Exactly.
You got all kinds.
So what I want to ask you is, going forward, or even in DLC, or just that thought process, would you ever consider combining the TV show and the game in one game to be able to tell the story in that much more of a diverse, unique way?
If it was my choice and my choice alone, of course I would do that.
But that's good. That's
but
good.
I mean, you know, making video games, it's a team effort. It's not just the development team. It's not just Bandai Namco as a publisher. And it's not just like, you know, Toei and Shueisha from the licensor side. It's everyone working together. So the possibility of that happening, I mean, it would take a lot of moving parts going together, but I think you bring up a really compelling idea where it's like, you know, that could be maybe that's the next step of where anime games and anime, the whole anime experience is going to, you know.
Now, last question. There's a lot of talk about the PS4K, like the mid update. From what I'm hearing, it's already confirmed the true E3 is coming, whatever. But as a developer, with games that you worked on this generation thus far and working on One Piece, is there anything that you see in this game already that, dang, if we had more time or if we had more power, we would have been able to do this? If so, if PS4K is a real thing and y'all know about it or y'all working on it behind the scenes, will we see like updates of One Piece utilizing that upgraded power that we may see coming from Sony?
I think there's a lot of opportunity when you have new console SKUs that end up taking advantage of, like, you know, different types of system resources.
Yes.
But I think, you know, realistically, like, you know, I mean, you got a chance to play One Piece Burning Blood.
Yes, I did.
That game is sharp as nails.
Yes.
You know, it's vivid. It's got, you know, plenty of characters. It's like everything feels really fluid. So, I mean, I would be hard pressed to say what it was missing. Like, you know, anything where we were just like, oh, you know, if we had a little bit more of this, then we would be able to punch it up that much more. But it's just like, that game's all punches. It's punches. It's
I love it.
You know,
It's punches, it's kicks.
you know, all that stuff.
Yo, I love you, man. Like, thank you so much, man. Let the fans know who you are and what you do for the game.
So I'm Steven Akana, and I am brand manager for One Piece Burning Blood at Bandai Namco Entertainment America.
Yo, we out here in San Francisco. It's crazy right now. I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl Shannon that's holding me down right now. Like, she's amazing. Listen, Steve, I appreciate you. Look, this game right here, I'm telling you, y'all know how I feel when I was playing Naruto and I was telling y'all, One Piece is another heavy hitter. Go get it. It's your boy HipHopGamer, Hot 97. We out. Peace.